Guys, welcome back to the channel again, and I got another install I'm trying to do. So I want to add courtesy door lights to my car. There's connectors you will need, and obviously the light itself. So essentially the Accord used to come with courtesy door lights. I don't know if the 7th gen came with them in all trims, but I know the 8th gen, the 2008 all the way up to 2012, every single trim you got from the base model up to the EXL, it will come with door lights. And then for some reason Honda decided to move it or remove it in the next generation, and then the only way to get it is if you bought like the higher trim car, which to me didn't make sense, but it is what it is. And then they did the same thing with this generation. You have to buy the Touring just to get the light on the door, which I mean it's probably not a big deal for anybody. Like, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, it's just a light on the door, but I want it now, so I'm gonna obviously install it. So I'm gonna show you everything you need. Obviously you need the light. I got this one off Amazon. And then you're gonna need some door connectors, which I'll link this one down below, because you need to find ones that specifically fit your car. It is raining outside, as y'all can all see, it's raining right now, but I'm still gonna do this install in the rain. I'm just gonna keep my door closed while I'm doing it. But yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna show you everything working inside, so let's head inside and show you what's going on, and then we're gonna pull off this door panel. This is my testing station. So I have a battery charger for my drill. This one has a positive and negative, so this is negative, this is the positive. I have the little door connector here and the light itself. So obviously I'm going to test to make sure everything works, so I'm simply going to connect negative and positive, and then I'm going to test the light first. So you plug it in between one of these two. I don't know if it could focus. Let me see if I get a good focus, but you see those two right here, 1 and 2, you just put on each side. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put the positive here. I'm actually gonna unplug the negative here for put this side in negative. Make sure the two alligator clips do not touch each other, so you don't short circuit anything. And then once I touch this should power on, and it does. So as you can see, the Accord emblem works, the light cuts on. Now just keep testing, make sure everything works. So now I'm gonna make sure this connector works. So you're gonna take all this apart. You're gonna plug the light into the connector. Again, it doesn't really matter how this plugs in. This works both ways. I think this matters, so plug in positive and a negative. So positive red, negative black like usual. And then now if I test it, looks like it's not working. So the connector in retrospect should work. There we go. The connector is working. I don't know why it wasn't working the first time, but it works now. So essentially the same thing, you know, the Accord emblem for the floor, and then you have the light. Oops. And you have the light here for the door. So now let's go to the car and install it. Okay. So everything you're gonna need is pretty much right here on this counter. So you're obviously gonna need the connectors, your 2 lights, but we don't need that until we're done with this. So you don't need that to the end. You're gonna need the connectors. This one comes with 4. I'll link it down below. I'll probably do it on my friend's car with the extra 2, or if you mess up you have extra 2. Have some wire strippers you're gonna need. You could solder it to your car, or you could use T-tap connectors. Obviously I'm gonna use some T-tap connectors. Heat shrinking, because you're gonna add some more wires to it, because you need to make the wires longer. And that's it. So I already did it here. We're stripped with freeing these up, so I'm gonna show you on this one. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna free up some wire. Probably gonna do it on the 1.0. The 1.0. Just gonna free up the wire and then expose it. If you try to make them the same size between the two, it'll be easier if you do that. I'm going to 1.0. Free it up. I think I freed a little bit more here, but that's fine. And then you're gonna take this amount of wire. So I'm just gonna take this much out. This is probably more than enough, just because I don't know how much length I'm gonna exactly need. So I'm just gonna cut this much off on the red and the black. Just gonna free it up in the tube, and pretty much all you're gonna do is just put it on here. You're gonna solder it. You're gonna put on here, solder it. Take your heat shrink, and then you're gonna heat shrink it after you solder it together. You're gonna heat shrink it. So I'll get back to y'all once I finish all that. Pull off this switch right here. It's only held on by one screw, to be honest, and then a bunch of clips. First, you gotta take off this switch, which you would need a pry tool, but I don't feel like looking for mine right now. But basically, there is this right here. It's a little groove. You would stick your pry tool in here. You would pop it out, and then this whole door panel switch will come out. There's two connectors, which you will see when I pull it off. There's one here and then one up here for the mirrors. So I'm gonna show you all that. All right, come closer. So here are the two connectors I was talking about. We have this one right here, and then right up here, we have the one for the mirrors. So I'm just gonna simply pop them off. There's a little push tab you push in on this side. You just push in this tab. Then you just pull this down. You give it like a left and right wiggle so it'll come out easier. And then essentially the same thing with the bottom. There's a clip right here. You press in, and then you just wiggle this thing left and right until it comes out. And that's it for that. After that, that's where you get to your screw. This is the screw. You just pull it out. You unscrew it. After you unscrew it, you just put this aside. I'm gonna put it here. For that, you don't need the tools. All you have to do is just pull off this door panel, so you will have to open your door. Again, it's raining, like I said. And then you will grab your pry tool and you will pry around this door. But since I pulled this door panel off so many times, everything's pretty loose. So all I have to do is just simply just do that. But if it's your first time taking it off, you will have to use the pry tool because, like I said, it will be on the car. And then you're just gonna unplug your trunk switch. There's a trunk switch right here. You just gotta be careful with that. Just pull this off. And then that's it. So now we're gonna put this to the side. All right, so I got everything soldered together. Got the two things soldered. I did cut more than I needed, but like I said, you don't know how much you would really need. So basically, what we're gonna do is connect this to power and ground. So essentially right here on the door, I'm gonna pull this out. Right here, this is the connector you're gonna need. This tells the car when the door is open and closed. So we're looking for a green wire. Zoom in. We're looking for this green wire right here. And then we're gonna go to our door switch, which tells again the car when it's open and closed with the locks. Right here, this power wire is the yellow. So we're gonna connect to this yellow wire and also tap into this green wire. So we're gonna take our two taps and just put them in. I'm gonna use red because they're the smallest ones there. We're just gonna find the length we need, which I don't think it's that much because I think the light sits right here and all we need is a wire to go up here. So we'll plug this in. So right to go over here, so I'm just gonna route this, and now what I'm gonna do is add a T-tap connector. Also forgot to mention you're gonna need the scrimper tool. My bad for forgetting that. But basically you're just gonna slide this in here. and you're gonna crimp it in. I think it's better to slide this in here first because it'll hold it in place. And make sure when you crimp it, make sure this is facing like this. Make sure this isn't sideways or nothing. Make sure it's pretty much, this pin is facing the same way as these teeth, horizontal. Don't crimp it like this, like don't turn this like that and crimp it because you're gonna mess it up. You gotta crimp it like this. So make sure the teeth are like this. Then you're gonna slide the wire in. You're gonna slide the wire in. And you're just gonna crimp it. I like to crimp it like 3 or 4 times, just to be sure. And now we're just gonna do a simple test by just plugging it in and make sure everything works. So while testing, just make sure you have this plugged in, because in order for everything to work properly, this must be plugged in. The door lights are working. Can't really see the Accord in the day. If you look at my leg right here, you can see it. It says Accord on the, it's gonna say Accord on the floor, and then you're gonna have the little lights shooting out towards you. So that's what I want. So now that I know everything works, I'm just gonna put everything back together. Now installing the door panel, simply, like I said, this should just fit in here. Just line it up, twist, and then just put your door panel back on. Here, you can see the connectors here. All you do is just plug this in, and then the light should just turn on. And then you just slide this in its place. And now you just put the screw back in up here, plug this back in, and then you should be done. So we're just gonna do the same thing here. So now that the passenger side door panel is off, basically it's gonna be the same exact thing, except the colors of the wires are different. So instead of a yellow on the switch for the window, it will be a green one, which is the only big fat green one there. And then on the door, it's gonna be this blue wire right here. This blue one, this big fat blue one. That's gonna be the one you're gonna tap into. And essentially the same thing should work, so let's do that. That'll be it for the installation of these courtesy lights for the Accord. You see they're still working on the car. This is for the LX all the way up to the EXL trim that doesn't have the courtesy lights. You see, it still says Accord on it right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it still says it. You'll see the night shots, or you probably already seen it in the night shots. But thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Share the video with all your friends or anybody that does want to do this. Share it out. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.